to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Hey, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, welcome to another episode of the Big Biz Show. We're live from the Lavell Juan Studios here in Southern California. Glad you are all along for the ride. Costa, Mary, Godwin, and Sully. I want to go straight to Howie, New York City, our market analyst, to get started, because a couple things. The market is. I want to talk about a market update because we've had strong earnings from companies like Nvidia that came out, and a market bubble is sort of when asset prices rise for sort of above what underlying share prices are. What's going on with the overall market, Howie? Because we're going into, we're nearly done with the first month of the first quarter of the year. It's acting as if we're going to have a giant year. Then all of a sudden there's a wait and see, and then all of a sudden we get another rally again. So what's going on? Howie is on mute.
No, I'm great.
Oh, there you
go. How are y'all? That's my bad. Sorry, everybody. I think that we're poised to have a pretty interesting year. There's been a lot of news. So yesterday we had Microsoft's earnings come out, and they were weaker. They were showing less growth than was previously thought, and that gave the market a reason to come down from its actual highs. So we actually hit this week an intraday high for the S&P 500 of 7,000, first time ever. Congratulations, confetti, balloons.
Yeah.
But we saw last week when it came to the Greenland and tariff threats and everything, this market is looking for reasons to go down.
Yeah, because
it's not finding them.
And at the same time, it's baking in some of these things that we're expecting to be big market movers. So when we're hearing the news, a lot of the stuff's already baked in. So it seems like, and if you look at RSI and you look at stochastic oscillator, we're not really in an overbought condition, except for a number of the biggest stocks are. And I think that's why it's important to look at indices sometimes versus individual stocks.
Yeah, and I would also say, just as, to go back to macro a little bit, and you're completely right about where the indexes are right now. We didn't see a big move either way when the Fed announced no change to the interest rate.
Right.
So we're probably going to get 2 more rate cuts. We'll get another 50 basis points total the whole year. We have the new Fed governor changeover in June, so we're probably not going to see anything. We might see one cut from Jerome, and then it would be Jerome Powell, and then it would be from the new Fed chair for a second one. It would be up to them.
Howie, do we know who the new Fed chair is going to be?
No, it's the cause of endless speculation. Make a lot of money on Polymarket if you do, but apparently it's down to 4 candidates, and the president says that he's chosen in his head, but he's not telling anybody, so that's interesting.
I'm thinking it's Bill Belichick. I don't know about you.
Yes, it's
with the Hall of Fame snub, why not?
Bill Belichick's girlfriend, I think, is the next
one. Jerome Powell was an academic. Are you looking for? Are you hoping for somebody more business-minded or more market-minded? Because we've had. If you go back to Ben Bernanke, or you go to Janet Yellen, go all the way back to Mr. Potato Head.
It's been professors and researchers for a long time. Right. It's probably not going to be someone like that this time. I think it just needs to be...
no Jamie Dimon's going to come in and be the Fed.
It's going to be an adult. Yeah, Jamie Dimon said, no way.
Yeah.
He'll retire before he does that. Yeah. He said that he's considered jobs like Treasury Secretary before, but he has not... Can you
imagine the ex-CEO at J.P. Morgan Chase being treasurer? That's fantastic. You got a guy who's got market savvy, except then again there was Bernie Madoff.
He's more cautious. He might keep rates higher than you would think. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind these markets, for those of you who are following the interest rate, the interest rate that the Fed drops is the discount window, in other words, the money that banks use to finance credit cards and savings and loans. However, it doesn't affect the mortgage rate until later. It's an opener indicator for when the long bond happens.
What's interesting there is that the president famously went viral a couple of weeks ago for saying that he was actually instructing the Treasury to buy mortgage bonds and try and control the price directly, which is something that is new. We have not seen that kind of
that would be
intervention before.
That'd be a derivative market of quantitative easing. Because by the way, every country does quantitative easing. We're just the least dirty shirt in the hamper, and that's when
exactly.
That's when you use
exactly.
That's
the Europeans.
What language are you speaking?
You print money to buy your own bonds.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then you live. That's how we live off the government lives off their investments. It's a scam, but everyone does it, and the problem is that when the interest rates get to zero, are you getting a 0% car rate or credit card rate? No. That's a good gig if you can get it.
No, every step of the banking system marks it up. Yeah. It goes from interbank rate to bank. It's a little bit better for mortgages than it is for credit cards. Yeah, I mean listen, the banking sector's got to make money too. Poor them. You know what I mean?
Poor them.
But before I go, could I just I want to give the audience a little factoid because. Investors or people that have been looking at the Dow know this, but if you've been watching the S&P your whole life like I do, it's not as baked in. The time period between 1,000-point gain is going to get shorter and shorter just because of that.
I remember when the Dow Jones hit 10,000, and it really was a huge news story. But to your point, the difference for the Dow to go from a 10 to 11,000 is way more difficult than it to go from 49 to 50,000. Because,
so in 2014 we were at 2,000.
Yeah.
In 2019 we hit 3,000. 2021 was 4,000. February 24 was 5,000. November 24 was 6,000. I mean,
and by the way, these are psychological. These are psychological.
They're totally
chiefly,
psychological.
Right?
People shouldn't read that much into them. I was surprised we didn't go a little further above the 10,000 line. Right now we're below, but that's to be expected.
Here's what you need to understand about the indices. If putting money into equities, okay, remember there's only two ways to get rich in this country. You got to buy real estate or you have a business. You own a business if you own stock. If the market wasn't working for investors, it would be in the negative. Okay, we've seen like the Bolsa, for example, in Mexico, be in the negative number. We're positive 50,000. That means since they've been keeping records, back when the Dow Jones started, we are up, basically ups and downs every day, 50,000 points. It would indicate that you should keep your money at risk and invest in U.S. companies or international companies. But if you keep your money in a savings account, you're going to go broke very quickly. Because, if you take your money out of the market, every time you think the market's going to die and you put it back in, your average return over the course of 12 years is like 8% versus 16%. So, I mean, the bottom line is, I think you're right, Howie.
I think most people need to dollar cost average, keep it, don't sell it. As the founder of Vanguard said, buy everything and hold it forever.
Yeah. Problem is, nobody's in the business of buying stock. Everybody's in the business of selling stock because that's where you take your profits.
Well,
Thanks,
you want to eat.
Howie Font, Big Biz Show market analyst. All right, keep it here. Speaking of the Big Biz Show, there is a lot coming your way this episode. See you right after this. Trio. And as we like to say, Mary, no lessons, self-taught, best in the business.
Best.
Just enjoy their talent right there. Back here at the bar, it is Costa, it is Mary Godwin, and it is Sully. Dan Negroni's here, one of my close friends who has changed my life in many ways. I'm very serious about that, but he's also Chief Launchbox Officer. I remember when you were Chief Counsel for companies here in San Diego, and you decided I want to do something more. And of course, Dan is the CEO, coach,
consultant, chief launch officer for, is it called Launchbox 360 anymore?
Yeah, Launchbox 365 and a book.
And Dan,
where's my book?
Yeah, where's the book? He can't work on these.
Right
I love when the guest says, "Hey, where's the book?" we got the yeah. Can we get the book out here? Your first book, Chasing Relevance.
Yes.
Which I would encourage everyone to read it, because it's one of those books where 7 years ago you said what was going to happen.
God, it's almost 10 years ago, but I'm not dating us.
Hey, listen, that is the new 80. I said, you said in the next 5 years, 75% of your customers and 75% of your workforce are going to be millennial. Well, that millennial thing left the train station. Yeah. And then we became...
now we have Gen Z.
That's right.
So, and it was so interesting, Dan, because nobody on the keynote speaking circuit, no author was actually attacking the fact that, look, we've got a big paradigm shift going on here, and we should talk about it. You've taken that forward to going from, okay, this is a new normal, but now we have to actually help these people and
these people.
You people. Well, be relatable. Listen, I'm to the point now where I'm the one sending the email. We're going to scroll down to China and it says, hang in there meme. And my kids are helping with it. I mean, the point is, I am really, really encouraged about the future. I wasn't so encouraged maybe during millennial times, but these kids are changing the deal where it's you know.
I think you said that last time we had them here.
Yeah.
You were like, wow, impressive.
They are impressive.
They are impressive, yes.
You know, I've got a 285-month-old that I live with in my house, my son, but I'm just amazed at how fast and how quickly they pick stuff up. That to me is so
Can I ask you guys are college students from Cal State San Marcos?
Yes.
Professor Dan Negroni, business law class.
Yes.
Do we seem like old crusties to you? No, honestly, no, seriously.
Come on.
He's being honest.
Is there a divide between, like if you came to work for me as a, defraculator consultant, is there this sort of invisible sort of divide? We're the crusties and you guys are coming up and we just get out of my way and #stop helping?
Who wants to talk? Anyone?
Do you believe in that? Do you think that that I'm not saying we're obsolete, but do you think that there's a difference between you and me in terms of what we think?
Yeah.
Here.
See, I love this.
Derek.
Do you know what I think the difference is? You guys are way smarter.
There's a big difference in the way we think, because we think technology and future and everything. I feel like you guys think more old school, more hands-on.
Paper and pen?
Yes.
Hold on, sorry. Hang on, my pager's going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whiteboard,
You
dry erase
embrace
marker.
the technology, whereas we're a little fearful of it because we don't know how well it works, but it's all you've known, and you're like, let's go. This is the way it is.
Does it entertain you when we try to act like we know technology?
Yes. We kind of super funny, honestly.
Hey, I got this.
It's like a little kid trying new technology. Yeah. We're barely learning it.
I want to know why the little girl that depended on me her whole life, who now I have to call and ask, hey, I think I erased my trash bin. What do I do, hon? I mean, are you guys just, when did you pick up your first screen, you think?
Can you repeat that again?
Your first screen,
when I was, I believe, in 5th grade, I had my first phone. It was like the iPhone SE, a little small one. And then after that, through the years, everybody started getting a phone, and then that was the new meta. And now everybody has a phone.
The new meta.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that. It's one last question for you. If you didn't have your phone and you had to do a report on the American Civil War and you had a bookcase full of books and you went to and there's a book on it,
would you give up?
Would you ask Mike to write it for you?
I'll take the F.
Do you think you could, because we did a pretty complete job of telling our history back then. It took us longer.
Yeah.
But do you think that you could work under those conditions at this point?
Yes and no. The reason is because nowadays I believe our generation, we get so bored so easily in like one topic, and so for a book for us it's very hard. We'd rather read like on a computer where they can assist us, or it could be an audio book and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be hard.
Is it about efficiency?
Yes, ma'am.
See, I feel like I'm one of the college kids. I think I'm one of them.
How hard is it right now not to sit and look at your phone and have to stare at us and listen? Is it just agony?
How hard is it to have to stare at us? I think it's
that's a given, but is it hard not to go and look?
They've already been doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, they have?
I do it
How
even
dare
between
you.
the
I
breaks.
do it all the time, too.
Yeah.
Dan, what's the purpose? What's the focus this year in business law?
Well, we're going to learn every different topic of business law, from criminal to torts to property to contract, to what law is, where it comes from, to ethical behavior. Right, that's going to be a hot one, I'm sure. To
the one thing I know about the law
intellectual property.
If you guys had to enter into a contract, let's say you're going to hire somebody to do something for you. Are you skeptical going in? Because our generation turned into trust but verify. I kind of feel like this generation is hold on, step down, because I'm ready, shoot, aim. I believe this is a ready, aim, shoot. Are you guys, do you trust basically the process of business?
Gunnar, you want to answer that? You're shaking your head.
Come on, Gun.
I mean, do you understand my question? Like, if you and I had to do a contract,
Yeah.
and you like me anyway, and you've done your reference check, you're not just going to trust me anyway. I mean, you're going to cross your I's and dot your T's, right?
Well, I feel like the biggest thing is because we're young and stuff like that. So people are like, oh, we could take advantage of these kids because they don't know what they're talking about. Hopefully they'll just sign their name on the paper and then,
But do you think there's a nascent sort of attitude that
skepticism
we want to,
Yeah, because before you sign a contract, you don't not say you don't know what it is, but if you read it and you understand it, you could be signing up to anything, right?
Right.
So I feel like it's just very important to is this for sure I want to do this? Am I 100% on that? I'm not sure just by our age, but I think it's just taking advantage.
I feel it's like this. Like when you go to a restaurant, the waiter, for me, starts off at 20%.
Yeah.
Then he loses it from there. I feel like they look at a contract.
I think it's a trust thing.
Yeah, right.
There are two things. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys and gals. It is trusting yourself to make sure that you make the right decision. I see a lot of heads. And trusting the other people that have pretty much let you down, or you look at it and you say, really? WTF? I mean, that's what it's about.
So how do you get to trust them? Because, I was going to ask, how much do you, because now you have the internet, you have reviews, you have different things, and ChatGPT or whatever. So do you go to those places to research?
Because I'm not that Sully. That's the other Sully. Just like
I never really signed a contract or anything like that.
But let's say that you're going to sign a contract with me.
Okay.
To let's say you're going to sign a contract with me to remodel your apartment.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to put in a sauna, maybe a pole, a fridge, and you're trusting me to spend. Let's say it's going to cost you $3,000.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it for you. Mm-hmm. How do you make that decision that I'm the right guy and that?
Well, so first I would search up who you are, right? I would see your previous does this guy actually renovate apartments, or is he just some guy with money that just wants to do what he wants, right? So if I see some actual he actually knows what he's doing and I trust it, just using the Google's
so you conduct due diligence.
Yeah. Pretty much, and then I'll be okay. Screw it.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The entrepreneurial spirit. Because I fear that because you guys have been hammered. I mean, you've been screwed economically the last few years. I sort of feel I hope people understand that risk is intrinsic to success. You've got to take a risk to have something happen. I hope that and we're not paying.
For sure.
All right, Big Biz Show.
About that.
85 million TV home strong. We are on American Forces Network. We're on BizTV. We're on.
Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere. Well, we're live from the Loft 100 studios here in sunny San Diego, California. It's the Big Biz Show. I'm Sully. That's Mary Burt Godwin. That's the Day Traders trio up there on the stage. Mike Costa out for the day. But what we do have is Lavell Malloy, CEO and co-founder of Bragg House, stock symbol TBH, and boy, the number one home for casual college gamer. But it's much more than that because he's amassed. He has, I should say, directed a whole affinity group of people in a certain age group towards a confluence of culture and capital is what he calls it. So my good friend Lavell. Lavell, I have to say, we talked about last week sort of, the problem and the secret sauce of what you're doing here. And for the folks who didn't get a chance to talk to you, your vision is to bridge culture and capital, where you've built this company based upon, it's almost like Steve Forbes who says, if you want to be successful, find a need and fill it. Well, you guys amassed it. Can I tell you, as a band,
The reason that at age 65, I got to sign a second record deal and I'm going on, 25, 26 tour dates next year at this age, is because we gamed the system. And how we gamed the system was we had good music, but even more than that, you can't make it in the music business unless you can find someone to buy a ticket to see you. It's called a hard ticket sale. So what did we do, Mary? We went to charities like Challenge Athletes Foundation. We filled a room with people that would buy a ticket automatically. So we already had an automatic audience. You had an automatic audience in this gamer situation. And you literally reverse engineered a business into that. It was brilliant. It really was, because it wasn't about finding the people that come be your customers. You knew what the customers were. You just had to find a need that they need and fill that need, right? That's really how the game was played in the beginning, correct?
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. I think what you see so much is you see people trying to sell to a specific fan base and they're saying, great, 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 great. And you're right. It's like we said, hey, there's already a built-in community here. And it's on the intersection of college sports, gaming, and social interaction. So we just filled that void. And I think the other really important thing we did, that we showed that community loyalty is really a tangible asset. And I think that's so important, because when more people learn that and learn how we took that as an asset, now it has value. And that's why we're able to kind of use that and market that.
You know, the thing that you've mentioned last week or the time before was when your audience started saying to you, teach us everything, you knew you had them, right? Wasn't that the tipping point where you came and you knew the audience, you offered them something, and again, define a need and fill it. You offered them something that they didn't have, but you knew they needed, and all of a sudden they were like sponges, right? In terms of wanting what you had.
It was a very humbling moment too, because you have all these executives of Coca-Cola and McDonald's, and we're like, yeah, me and my co-founder Daniel, we're like, we're ready to go, we're ready to pitch. And they're like, no, teach us, and we'll pitch to the entire corporate board of McDonald's, and we'll tell them that this works.
Well, that was the corner of digital engagement to digital ownership. Right? I mean, isn't that what you talk about? Isn't that the why that which is next on the spectrum here? It's moving from the digital engagement, which we're all trying to get, to digital ownership. I mean, and I think that's something that I've never even heard of before. Talk about that piece of it for us.
Yeah, so it's the next evolution, and I'm really glad you asked that question, because I get asked about it a lot. And really, we use this new commodity, this fan loyalty, community loyalty, and we've given them everything, their experiences, because they're valuable in our media tech platform. Now the next evolution, and why we really value this merger, is they're gonna have ownership in teams, ownership in things that they do. And the reason why that's important is because this ownership is something that they wouldn't have before. It's not, it's only a select few have this type of ownership. So creating that new financial scale, and I think big, but we've done it already with what the hardest audience there is creating this new way to adopt finance. And now they're going to have that ownership to be able to do that, and they want to. And that's it's meeting them where they are, and that's how you bring it to capital.
Well, mentioning finance, that just reminds me, we've talked a little bit about your collaboration with House of Doge. Can you just talk about how that is influencing the payment infrastructure and how that's changing the face of what you're doing?
That's an excellent question. So, a lot of people, I think people, they see, one of the largest cryptos, they see this $30 billion market cap, but I'm a very fundamental person. It's from my compliance background, from my securities law background. What they're building is payment processing, so they can have utility and create, and have more use inside currency, tokenization, branding. It's an entire ecosystem. So if you can build a payment processing center, that the equivalence of a Visa, of a MasterCard, if you can put a tokenization, which, BlackRock, Blackstone have said, all embracing, even the NASDAQ, if you put those things in it, but, the only difference is now you're back, the utility that you're using is a $30 billion currency, those are fundamentals. You're not saying, hey, we're just putting all this on your balance sheet. We're saying, no. This is what Gen Z, what other people already use, these digital things, the Venmos, everything. Let's adopt that into finance. That was my vision as soon as I started hearing about that. And I'm like, let's build out these vertical rails. And that's what it is, building out these huge rails with comparables that are, $1 trillion markets. Build that in. And the only reason why it's even in the realm of the word come crypto is because that is a utility that's there. But if you have payment of any currency throughout all colleges, throughout everywhere, that's a huge huge thing.
This is what I'm talking about, how you reverse engineered an audience that already existed. What it makes me think, though, is because you have a proprietary advantage, Lavell, is that you could do this with other affinity groups. Okay, correct. Let's just say military, for example, since we're on American Forces Network. There's a common need in military for consumer finance. There's a common need in military for debt restructure. There's a common need in different areas of the country, not just college students, but let's talk about postgrads who can't find a job. I mean, if you can identify the affinity groups, can't you take your model and overlay that into, with not necessarily in gaming, but in other industries, correct? That's the secret sauce here, right?
Very, very easily. Very easily. And I think that's when I call it a playbook, that's exactly what we're doing. We're taking something which, was a meme, and we're saying, hey, let's make it, what's the void? What's the reason why? Adoption. Make this adopted. And how do you adopt it? You put in all of these rails to make sure it's used everywhere, globally, sports teams. These are the ways that you put in. So it's exactly right. It's taking exactly that. And, I honestly, someone would ask me this question. They said, can you think of an industry that couldn't benefit from that? And I can't think of an industry that couldn't benefit from that playbook.
I always keep you longer than I tell you I am. Just steal your time from you without permission, and because it's national TV. But I have to ask you before you let you out of here, why is there no competition for this? I mean, I know that you're a genius. I'm not just saying that because I like you. But I mean, you are. I think I can illustrate, even in our conversations that we have here on air, that how just different this is. I'm so surprised that someone hasn't cracked this code. There is a competitive moat, as you describe it, using your own parlance, to where it just doesn't exist. Talk about that just for a minute before we let you out of here today.
So the short answer is, I just think that people are kind of stuck to their ROIs. People are still under the impression that you can't make anything new. It's just built off other stuff. And I never had that mentality. I think if you have a problem and you can find a solution, that's valuable.
I love it. Lavell Malloy is his name. He's the CEO, co-founder of Bragg House. TBH is their stock symbol. Every time we have this kid on.
Love him.
And I hate to call him a kid in terms of this pat him on the head kid. Yeah. But he is a punkrepreneur like Howie. He's making us all look bad. Making us all look old, but no, seriously. Really, really interesting stuff. Yeah. Can't wait to see more of it. Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. We continue. Stand by. We're right back. It is the Big Biz Show in over 175 countries, all the ships at sea. You can hear us on the American Forces Radio Network. Shout out to our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Shout out to the Day Trader Trio. Blessed. Bringing their A game every single episode. Can't really say that for me. I can say it for Mary Godwin, and I can say it for Sully. As we roll on here, I want to talk about how important it is when you are a shareholder and you get these things in the mail that talk about voting.
Is it important?
It's important because when you're a shareholder of a company,
throw them away.
Your vote. Let me tell you what. When you own shares in a company and they ask you to vote on a certain thing,
yes,
it's to benefit. Let me tell you how easy this is, okay? As I'm standing here right now, okay, I'm voting my shares in a certain company, okay, and in this case, it is to approve another share issuance in a board of directors.
Okay.
Bam, bam, voted. Done.
Nice.
Let me tell you, one of the reasons that these guys want to talk to me about this is because when you own stock in a company, remember I told you that you can't sell your house before you own it, and you can't sell your car before you own it, but you can sell stock before you own it, and it's called short selling. And it really is a good thing because it allows you to bet against stocks when things are going south. Like, in other words, if gold's going south, I want to be able to make money on gold because the market's rocky. Well, I can bet against it. Of
course.
So I'm basically borrowing 100 shares, selling those 100 shares, and then buying them back a couple days later for less money and getting to keep the difference, right? That's kind of how that works. The problem with abusive short selling, okay, is when it drives the price of a stock down. And you realize when you sign a margin agreement, in other words, every time you have an account with Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, even Robinhood, you can borrow up to 50% of your position. So if you have $50,000 in there, you can borrow up to $25,000 to buy more stock or do whatever. Well, on that margin agreement that allows you to do that, you're also allowing the broker-dealer to loan your shares out to short. Well,
if you're a publicly traded company, like these guys are asking me to tell my broker not to loan my shares out. What does that do for me as a shareholder? It keeps upward pressure on the market. It means that because when you short stock, they're betting it's going to go down. So they really want it to go down, so they're going to do anything they can. So anyway, just pay attention when you get your proxies. You know what I just said?
Just don't throw the mail away. Vote. Jack Lu is...
I can't wait to talk to him. I want this guy on the air every day.
Okay.
Because he's talking about smell-o-vision.
This is awesome.
It's like scratch and sniff stickers.
Well, this is way more.
It's endless. Jack Lu is the head of corporate development for Ainos Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is AIMD, and we invite Jack back to the Big Biz Show. Jack, as always, appreciate the time, knowing the time change between here and you. Always thank you for hopping on with us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back.
Ainos, really interesting here is teaching machines how to smell. And I got such a kick out of last time.
It's unbelievable.
So last time you were on the air, we had so many people email back about it. I'm just going to make you repeat what you started with last time. Give us an overview when you're sitting in an airport lobby waiting to take the next plane, and somebody's asking, "Hey, what do you do?" What is the pitch? Because I want you to, because it's an unbelievable pitch.
Yes, we are basically showing you a new future for AI. What we do, we have this device called Ainos that I'm holding right here. We're teaching AI to smell. We're basically taking this invisible data that nobody can see it, nobody can read it. We turn that into something machine can do it, can read it, and we can make a meaning out of it. It's kind of like we are turning scent into what we call smell ID. You can think of our smell ID like a face ID on your iPhones, but for scent, right? The big opportunity is if you look at all the robots, all the AI, they've done a wonderful job talking, they've done a wonderful job speaking, hearing, but really nobody can smell. And that's what we are here to do, to fill the gap. We are very unique because we've been doing this for about 13 years. For basically 12 years of that history, we've been doing it for healthcare, developing this product to test people's health based on the breath or various parts of their body samples, stents. And now we pivoted this technology into industrial use case, into everyday life. So this product right here I'm showing here,
right.
This is the product right now we are partnering and selling into semiconductor factories, robots, automation, et cetera, et cetera. So this one is going to be the big baby for the next year.
Jack, pretend like I didn't wear a helmet in college when I played football. Are you basically a steaming hot piece of pizza? Give me is it a written program that you're using AI, or you're plugging into that device?
That's
that
a great
says,
question.
This is what a piece of pizza smells like.
How do they read the music? That'd be like explaining this is the color
great way
blue,
to put it.
This is the color green.
Yeah.
All right. So under the hood, right?
Yeah.
We have a BT for scent, right? When we take the signals, the sense signals with the sensors right here, reads the sense signals. Within this box, there's about 13 sensors, right? So they're all gonna generate some kind of digital signals, and we can map that into a fingerprint for this particular scent.
Okay.
And we do this mapping through our proprietary AI called the smell language model. The really easy way to remember that is it works kind of like ChatGPT for scent. We are trying to give scent a meaning and give them the perception to understand the scent.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's if you think in terms of use, I can think of a lot of safety reasons why military applications and such.
Sure.
But the one thing I want you to explain is you have something called a smell language model that gives you a proprietary advantage. Can you explain what that is for the language model? Is that the actual under the hood coding that goes in? Is that, and that's something that you could white label later and maybe use as a technology for other companies?
Yeah. This is the AI model that we've been developing for about 13 years. We initially use it for healthcare. So when we take the sense signal from, say, a ventilated patient's breath in the ICU settings, we can turn that send signals, analyze a company. Imagine that we're trying to analyze virus out of this complex breath airs you're breathing with. We're able to extract the signals and then identify, okay, if this guy has a pneumonia or not, and next stage, what kind of virus is causing that pneumonia. In women's health settings, we'll be able to test that what virus is causing the infections. In senior care settings, we can identify bowel movement. That means that if the senior people have wet the bed or not, and then when you can change the diapers. We're able to do that because our solution is very, very sensitive. We are testing things at what we call particle per billion, ppb level, parts per billion levels, meaning that the traces of scent is so tiny, you can't smell it, but the machine can smell it. So we're able to identify these tiny traces of scent and basically make a meaning out of it.
And on that subject, and next time you're on the air, I need to keep you for 3 segments because think about this: the minute they have a toothbrush that can do this, you're talking about so many factors in terms of heart disease that can be diagnosed through ketones, someone's breath, what's going on with gum disease, and it's such a leading indicator for. I mean, you guys are at the tip of the spear, man. I can't tell you how impressive this stuff is.
Jack Lu, head of corporate development for Ainos Incorporated. Pay attention to this ticker symbol, AIMD. Look for him to be on the Big Biz Show a lot more. All right, a lot more coming your way as well. Do not go anywhere. We're back after this.
Making me nervous.
Big Biz Show, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. We are in Southern California inside the Loft 100 studios. Hope you guys are having a great day. As always, appreciate you being along for this wacky ride. They always are. They are the Day Trader Trio. And back here at the bar, Costa, Mervyn, Godwin, and Sully.
Who do we have there?
Laura Selecky is the VP of National Accounts for Bebemos Tequila. Of course, most importantly, the website, bebemostequila.com. We chase the sun. Laura, welcome to the Big Biz Show. How are you?
Thank you.
As you can tell, we kind of love Bebemos around here.
Yeah, it looks like you.
Why? Because it's delicious.
Delicious, yeah, of course.
So did this company start from scratch? Like, I know, I think I'll start a tequila company. Because I think that every Friday night, if you know what I mean.
I mean, it wasn't that simple. I know Preston's been on the show, but John and Preston and Patrick had this passion for tequila. Preston's wife had started a brand called We Drink Bubbles, subscription-based platform importing champagne, and
didn't it take off during COVID because people were stuck at home?
People were stuck at home.
Was this mail order booze?
Yeah, any way to get booze to your door. And so Preston and John, lovers of tequila, basically went to tequila and tried to mimic that same platform, and lo and behold, it worked. And they ran into a family, Casa Marengo, and they had an abundance of tequila, and they said, will you make a tequila for us? So
it's interesting because we wanted you as a guest because as these young adults here are trying to figure out their way in the world and how to start business or join business, it paints the picture that anything's possible. It's a Me Too thing, right? Like if they started after their wife had a booze to their door business, that's pretty ambitious. It's not like the tequila space is not crowded. Right? It's almost like right now. We had 1800 and we had Cuervo when we were kids.
Right.
And now you go to a bar and what made you guys think you could be bigger, better, faster, stronger, cheaper? Like, what was the tiebreaker? Because you're gonna have to stick out in the market.
I mean, there are a few things that I think they did wonderfully. One of them is they didn't focus necessarily on the tequila. They focused it on, like you were saying, community. You want a community. We wanted to bring a community of people that loved coastal San Diego, that wanted a 70s vibe, and the icing on the cake was the liquid in the bottle was delicious. They also made a hoven, which is not a widely known style. So for those of you who don't know what a hoven is, hoven means young in Spanish, but in tequila it means a blend of aged and unaged tequilas. So ours is 80 Blanco, 20 Reposado, and Añejo, all blended into one bottle. So super smooth.
It is the bottle of romance of Mexico, Mike.
Well, and the bottle, I live in a mid-century modern house. And the bottle...
What does that mean? You got shag carpet?
We don't have shag carpet, but this bottle looks like it was probably in the house
in 1968 when it was built. Whose idea was the bottle? Because it's magical. That could be a lamp in someone's house.
Those bottles are magical.
A bunch of stuff.
And I think they are lamps in people's homes. But Patrick, Patrick, our creative director, who he's a third co-founder and lives in Nashville, he is an amazing person connected to the music industry, and he is responsible for every billboard, everything gorgeous, from the bottle to any piece of marketing you see on social and far beyond. So.
Does it go that granular? We have a person saying we need this type of bottle, and that's a marketing decision. Like because obviously, vintners, with wine, it's all the same wine bottle. Was that like a meeting or five?
With liquor in particular, everybody has a different bottle, and I think you want to stand out, especially as you said, the space is super crowded, and the amount of people that told us we were crazy for launching a tequila in this market.
So as a marketing person, distribution is everything. The decision to go San Diego and not go everywhere, that casts a smaller net. Was that a smart decision? Is that kind of the secret here?
We really wanted to own our own market, go an inch deep and a mile wide, just bringing a huge sense of community in San Diego. And we found out in 2025 we exceeded what we thought we could do. So we're pretty excited for 2026.
You're watching you're hearing about a company who started from scratch, a tequila company. And you guys are sitting out there going, I don't know if I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to work for somebody. Are those types of dreams too ambitious for you right now? I mean, are those types of things? Because when I was in college, I just want to get hired by an insurance company. I wasn't even thinking about starting it. Is this something that seems reachable to you?
Well, Gio wants to start his own brand.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to go to tequila and really spend some time in the distilleries and see, how it's made from start to finish, and then maybe intern in a spirits company. I mean, we're
like
in
Bebemos.
Right
And Mike and I would like to be your testers, by the way. So Laura, for you, so what's the low-hanging fruit for you in terms of gathering market share and getting the word out? Because isn't that the next step? Is getting brand loyal folks to come in and continue with the brand story?
Yeah. So I mean, we're definitely going to expand in 2026. We're going to expand into other territories, into the chains. Hopefully by the end of 2026, you'll see us in a few grocery stores. So we've just scratched the surface in San Diego. I mean, we're in about 225 accounts in 7 months, mainly restaurants and bars. So we feel really good about that. But there's like 2,300 spots.
It does, but I have to tell you, it does feel like the $3.95 pale ale that AleSmith did. Yeah. San Diego brand. Because you're everywhere. On an overall marketing question, not with this. If you were to talk to these folks and talk about how important marketing is, even to small business, what would you say to some startups and some mom and pops? Is it a metric still, or do you have to wait to be a big company?
It's definitely important, and I think we've been so lucky to have the talent behind it. I think if you thought you could launch just a tequila brand without the marketing that we put behind it, you may not be as successful. So yeah, I think it's pretty important to have the marketing.
So what's next for you guys for Bebemos for the next 6 months? What's the plan in terms of rollout?
We're going to expand into Orange County, into some.
Any thoughts of distribution into the whole world, or is it?
Yeah, but we have to go slow. Getting into each state is very, very tricky. Alcohol laws, distributors. So yeah, we're searching for a distributor here in San Diego, and we'll see where it goes.
If you could give any advice to these young people here that are getting into business, would you say it's an encouraging environment right now, or?
I would say it's definitely encouraging. Follow your dreams. If you're passionate about it, you'll win.
Love it.
Laura Selecky,
Vice President, National Accounts, Bebemos Tequila. We thank Laura for joining us here today. Of course, Lavell Juan Malloy II, CEO, co-founder of Bragg House, our good buddy Dan Negroni, and his wonderful class from Cal State University.
You guys come back. We love you.
San Marcos, give yourself a hand. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Big Biz Show. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to Loft 100 Studios, San Diego's Emmy Award-winning production studio, creative hub, and unique private or corporate event space. Host your next corporate or special event in our spacious main room. Utilize a green screen or our 3 million LED lights video wall to create the newest upcoming sales video, or record that podcast or YouTube show that you've been wanting to make happen. Take your creative endeavor to the next level at Loft 100 Studios. Scan the QR code or go to loft100studios.com to book a tour.